stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment for a silence of our sick, handicapped, military personnel recently departed, including Solicitor McDermott's deceased mother of our community. Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Verducci. Here. Mr. Verducci.
Here.
Mrs. Mully.
Here.
Mr. Ferry. Here. Mr. Franchek.
Here.
Mr. Henderson. Mr. Saraskin.
Here.
Mayor Copeland.
Here.
Solicitor McDermott. Engineer Powell.
Here.
Chief King. Oh, Sergeant James is here. Assistant Chief Sigworth.
Here.
And Chief Miller.
Here. Okay, thanks, Joe. Is there anybody with public comment? Oh, I'm sorry, executive session, the Borough Council met prior to this meeting to start the meeting to discuss legal and personal matters. Any public comments? Okay. All right, to the business. A motion to approve October 14, 2024 regular meeting minutes as submitted. Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve the November 4, 2024 special budget meeting minutes as submitted.
I'll make the motion.
Justine? Second. Jason? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve the November 24, 2024 bill list.
I'll make a motion.
Shane?
Second.
Jason? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve the November 15th, 22nd, 29th, and December 6th, 2024 payrolls. Bruce?
Second.
Justine? Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve the Shabala Corner Plan of Lots, including the approval of modification of section 505.c of the Borough Subdivision of Land Development Ordinance, Chapter 22, to allow proposed Lot 1 to be created as a double frontage lot as recommended by the Bridgeville Planning Commission.
I'll make a motion.
Shane? Second. And Jason, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to adopt resolution number 2024-16, resolution of the Borough of Bridgeville authorizing the submission of the Community Development Block Grant to upgrade water drinking fountains at Triangle and Cook School Parks.
So moved.
Bruce?
Second.
Justine, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The motion to accept the lowest responsible bid received from Independent Enterprise Incorporated in the amount of $99,000 for the Bluff Street Extension Slope Stabilization and Retaining Wall Improvements Project, subject to the contractor obtaining the required insurance certificates, performance bond, payment bond, and review and approval of same by the Borough Solicitor prior to the execution of the agreement by the Borough. Bruce, Jason, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to accept the lowest responsible bid received by Avelli Construction in the amount of $210,010 for the Gregg Avenue Stairs project, subject to the contractor obtaining the required insurance certificates, performance bond, payment bond, and review and approval of same by the Borough Solicitor prior to execution of the agreement by the Borough.
I'll make a motion.
Justine? Jason, any questions?
I just had that one earlier that Joe answered for me about making sure the math was right on the deduct amount. So thank you, Joe.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to authorize the execution of the sculptor loan agreement by and between the Borough of Bridgeville and Seward Johnson Ltr. Incorporated for the lease of outdoor sculptures to be part of the 2025-26 Public Art Bridgeville Exhibition.
So moved.
Bruce? Jason? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Justine, are we gonna make sure we get somebody doing jumping jacks in the middle of town this time? or-
Yeah.
Okay. A motion to authorize the President of Council to execute permit compliance agreements with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for the construction of Phase 1A of the McLaughlin Run Flood Control Project.
So moved.
Bruce, Shane, any questions?
What's the timeline on that?
John?
We're still finalizing the grant stuff through FEMA and PEMA.
Okay,
Once those two agencies issue the money, we can finalize the bid documents and everything on the bid. So we're waiting on them before we do anything.
okay, and it's a guarantee from FEMA.
Yeah, last time, we checked with PEMA, well, this time last week, and their review is in environmental and historical preservation review process. So once it gets through that, we should get the green light to start using the grant funds. That's what we're hoping on to do. If you think about the environmental review, we just went through all the environmental reviews. That's what we authorized last month, was the DEP permits that John was able to secure for us. So that's like the indication of what we're gonna be dealing with. We already got out of that once, so
But that money is guaranteed.
that's the plan. Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to authorize the repurposing of the borough-owned parcel number 2255-K-54 on Baldwin Street into a butterfly pollinator garden as recommended by the Bridgeville Planning Commission in the spring of 2025.
Question on that one.
Go ahead.
Justine, maybe you can help, or Mike, you're here. So this is gonna be like a group plan like we've done with the other ones? And 904 is just the cost of all the plants. Do we need any soil or coverings for
Well,
those?
yeah, yes.
Okay. I just saw that, I didn't see that in the bill of materials, I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, the question too is to, I don't know if you guys had talked about this in planning, if you were gonna have like maybe a group or volunteers to like kind of keep upkeep and take care of the.
Yeah, that's the plan. We want to solicit, sometime maybe in the winter, let people know that let the community know that we're doing this, and then get a group of volunteers together. And we talked about, Joe was looking into turning the water on at that.
Meter pit,
Yeah. Yeah, so that, because we'll need to, if we have a summer like we've had over the last couple months, we're gonna need to water to keep them alive till they get established.
Lynn lives on Baldwin Street, so he'll handle it. Thanks.
There is gonna be prep work, and, Public Works will probably dig, and then we'll plant. Okay, we'll take care of it from there.
Yeah, if you decide to put any type of group or committee, you guys let me know, it's just.
Well, it'll be on the website.
Yeah.
Our borough website.
It's supposed to be raised today.
No, not right. No, it'll be ground level at this point.
Thank you. Any other questions?
That's it.
Okay, I need a motion.
Well, I'll make a motion since I asked the question.
Shane, Jason, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to authorize the borough manager and solicitor to advertise notice of intent to enact, refer to ACED, and schedule a public hearing regarding proposed amendments to the borough's zoning ordinance and to its subdivision and land development ordinance, and to adopt resolution number 2024-18, invoking the pending ordinance doctrine as to same as recommended by the Borough Planning Commission.
So moved.
Bruce? Jason? Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to authorize disbursement of the real estate tax refunds due to a change in assessment to the following: SF Limited Liability Company, parcel 255-F-122, years 2024 and 23, total $2,419.30. I got one more. Yes Warren LLC, parcel 322-A-30, years 24 and 23, totaling $931.30.
So moved.
Bruce, Shane, any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to accept and pay any commission due October 2024 real estate tax collector report.
I'll make a motion.
Justine? Jason? All in favor? I'm sorry, any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to acknowledge receipt of the October 2024 treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
Bruce and Shane, any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to accept all submitted October 2024 official reports.
So moved.
Bruce?
Second.
Jason, any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, committee reports. Bruce?
No report.
Any questions for Bruce? Don't give me a minute, dude. All right, finance report, Joe Verducci. All right, so last week we had the preparation of the borough budget. We presented it in a public meeting last Monday, and we've gone through everything. It's a balanced budget, and I'm happy to report Joe Carr yet again figured out another way of having a balanced budget and no tax increase. So very proud of that. We also discussed trying to put together a model of a 5-year plan, just to see. I mean, the cost of everything is going up. Sooner or later, unfortunately, there may be a time. So we asked Joe to put together a 5-year plan, just to, unfortunately, it's just a guess, but it's a pretty good educated guess based on all the knowledge Joe has and all your spreadsheets and all that fun stuff. So, in addition to that, there is Small Business Saturday towards the end of the month, and we'll be submitting Bridgeville flyers to distribute around town. And one of the things that Joe and I were a part of at the end of October, we went to Bridgeville. Joe was nice enough to host it here to have a Chamber of Commerce cybersecurity training that was held here. There were 4 different speakers. There was an insurance agent. There was a talking about cyber insurance. There was an attorney that talked about some of the things you get involved in. We had an IT person, and then there was some banker that talked about banking fraud. For some reason, this council has heard a little bit about that. So there was a lot of good things in it. I also think there was a lot of things that we need to look into that Joe's been doing a good job looking into, just to make sure that everything is definitely safe here at the borough. Any questions for my finance report? Okay. Parks and Rec, Shane.
Well, fall ball finished up. Thanks to Joe and the borough workers for winterizing everything. Good job. Both Devlin Robinson and Anita Bullock both wrote letters of recommendation promoting or supporting our grant to get the field lights. So that was a nice kudos to Joe Cower for including that this month. And outside of that, I just want to say thanks to the veterans that are in the audience or listening in. It is Veterans Day, so I appreciate all that you guys do. If anyone's in the room, thank you. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Shane? Public Works, Jason.
Just a few things. Both curbside leaf and brush collections are underway through December 6th. grass cutting with the parks, right of ways, sanitary sewer work, and did some equipment maintenance and get ready to start decorating for Christmas. Is there anything?
Any questions for Jason?
I just have a question. There's a crack in that new asphalt on Bank Street. I mean, is that something that needs to be at least looked at by PennDOT, or, I mean, it's halfway through.
Which street is it on? Is it the one that?
It's on Bank.
On the cross pieces they fixed?
No. No,
We're at on back.
right in front of my house. I mean, I don't know if it just needs sealed so that it doesn't get any bigger, or if there's something, I don't know.
Is that where they overlay the asphalt, or is it all concrete? Where you're at?
It's the asphalt overlay.
Asphalt overlay.
Oh, if you could text me a picture of it, I
Yeah.
can report it to PennDOT for you.
Okay.
Anything else for Jason? Public safety, who else is on public safety besides Bill? Anything to report on public safety? Jason, Shore West COG.
A couple of quick items. The budget for the COG is not anticipated to, they're not anticipating raising dues for any of the members. They have two things for the fire department. I can pass on details, but one is they're looking to put together with all the COG members a fire hose grant. So I'm not sure what our need is there, but I can talk to you about that on the side. And they're also looking, their last meeting is November 21st for this year, and they're looking to put together fire trainings with all the COG members. So it might be something we have interest in.
Any questions for Jason? Before I ask Mayor Betty to do her report, I'd like to, if you haven't heard, the Southwest Regional Chamber of Commerce has created a new award. Very proud of this for the Chamber to do so, but it's called the Betty L. Copeland Civic Excellence Award. It is going to be the recipient of the award for their outstanding commitment to community service and impactful contributions to local initiatives. And the first year winner was Mayor Betty Copeland.
How about a standing oath for the mayor?
Yeah. Sorry, Mayor, I didn't think you would bring it up, so I asked. Be proud, and I am proud that it is a Brazilian to have you win the award as well as it be named after you. So, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, now you can go with your report.
Well, it was a banner night for Bridgeville because we won this excellence award for being the best borough. Our library won for being the best library, and our former councilman, Nick Jaselski, won Man of the Year. So it was a good night for us. And we're presenting this to our borough manager to display with the other awards in his office. And man, he always does little cute things, so I also got this as the one person who would be attending bingo and a bake sale.
I wonder that who would be the most best person to celebrate their birthday.
Seems like that was written right for you, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
how about that?
November 17th, Sunday, the Boy Scout Troop 2 will have their pancake breakfast at Bethany Presbyterian Church from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So hope that you will be able to support them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions for the mayor? Sergeant James, do you have anything to report?
I don't. You have the monthly report for October 24. I can answer any questions that you have.
Any questions? Okay. We have a replacement here. I'm sorry I didn't announce it, but do you have anything for the solicitor report?
Nothing outside of Tom's written report.
Thank you. Anything else for the solicitor? Borough Engineer, Mr. Howe.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a copy of our written report. Any discussion items, just an update regarding some of our sanitary O&M work. The line project had a little bit of a slowdown because PA America detected a potential water service line break that they were reviewing on Bower Hill Road. So their contract was put on hold while that got resolved. Other than that, nothing more to report. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for our engineer? Okay. Assistant Fire Chief Sedgwick.
Thank you, Council President. The only thing I have to report is we had 37 fire calls in the month of October, bringing our total up to 360 for the year so far. We're 20 calls ahead of where we were last year at this point.
What would you find is the most common one?
Fire alarms, probably. Still fire alarms.
Okay. Any questions for the fire department? Thanks, Bob. Southbridge EMS, Stan.
Nothing to report.
Okay. All right. And Bridgeville Historical Society, I hear Linda Tome is in the background.
I'm here, yes. I'm replacing Lisa Shady, she wasn't feeling well. Just a couple of things, just a reminder that we have a program coming up at the end of the month. It's going to be presented by Francis Halley, all about Pennsylvania folk art. Starts at 7:30 at the fire department. It's always open to the public, there's no charge, and there's always dessert and coffee. Our membership is open for 2025. I have some new applications. We didn't change the dues. If anybody wants to renew or sign up, I have them here. I'll take your check or money. And lastly, I guess, is the book raffle we've had going on for a few months. It's called The Very Hungry Caterpillar, a very popular book with the little kids. It was donated to us as a fundraiser, and the tickets are $5. You get 4 chances to win this. The drawing's at the end of December. One last thing, our bake sale was very successful. We made $680.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
What was the date on that for the next meeting?
The next program, November 29th.
Thank you.
It's always the last Tuesday.
Any other questions for Linda? Thank you, Linda. Bridgeville Library, Aaron.
Last Friday, we had a really great evening. Public Art Bridgeville held a reception where it was kicking off our month-long display. The theme is Bridgeville Artists Then and Now. We had about 60 people come out to just attend. Some of the artists were there, and it was just a really great evening. I encourage everyone to come down to the library, check out the art. It's a really great variety. It's really interesting. So it'll be there through the end of the month. Also going on this Thursday, we are having a dine-out night. That's the 14th. It'll be from 11 to 9 at Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza in Robinson. 20% of each order will be donated back to the library, and that information is all on the event calendar. And Friends of the Library are encouraging everyone to decorate a tree for the Festival of Trees. Applications are available in the library, and they'll be accepted through the 22nd.
Okay. Any questions for Aaron?
I just want to say a couple of things. Number one, Public Art Bridgeville was able to get several pieces of art from various artists within Pittsburgh. So from within Bridgeville. So we're very thankful, Linda, for your help. It was greatly appreciated. And I want to thank Erin for a nice job that she did working with us, because we pretty much upset her whole apple cart for the week. But thank you both very much.
For some reason, that apple cart gets knocked over quite often.
And I want to mention, I believe that the Bridgeville Library was recognized by the Chamber as well for its excellence, so congratulations, Aaron, for your very high standards. So we appreciate, everybody appreciates it.
craft fair on Sunday, November 24th. So everybody better be there. It was a great time, the last one, so this is gonna be really good. All right, now my report. First of all, the Bridgeville Borough Parking Authority continues to operate in the black. We're very proud of that. There is one camera for lot number 3 Baldwin Street is installed and fully operational. You might be surprised what we've seen on there. The acquisition and installation of 4 LED wall mount lights for lot 5, which is, we know it as the Norwood lot, is still pending the building owner's approval. Trying to get him to sign the paperwork. I've signed everything, everything's a go, it's just getting that person, because they will not install it without the building owners. Lot number 2 has that damaged curb. It was demoed and it's repaired and it's complete. We actually took it out and just crisscrossed it so people aren't busting it up anyhow. The remaining 2 lights that are needed in lot number 1 will be ordered and installed in 2025. That's the PNC lot as we know it. And the Parking Authority will have their meeting next Monday at 7 p.m. right here in this office, or this room. Any questions?
Questions for Deb? Thank you, Deb. Borough Manager Joe Carr.
In addition to my written report, on Saturday we have a Tree Vitalize community tree planting. We're meeting at 9 o'clock here at the Borough Building. Just like the event at Oak School Park in the spring, contractors were in town today.
Yeah, I did.
Doing all the site prep so that the volunteers essentially, all the heavy lifting and dirty work is done for you. So it should be a nice, easy, fun community event. And as of just a little before the meeting, 20 volunteers have signed up. So it should be a very successful tree planting like we had in the spring. Interesting, it's hard to believe it's holiday season. On the table is a flyer for small business Saturday, like Joe was saying. But Light Up Night is actually before we come back for our next council meeting. So Light Up Night is Friday the 6th at 6:30 at Triangle Park. And as Jason said, the Public Works Department is already working getting lights together for that. That's all I have.
Any questions for our manager?
Real quick, with the Snow Angel program, I know Cheryl reached out. Do we have anyone that's lacking, or do you know anything like that?
Yes, we do have a need for volunteers.
Okay.
There is some people that have been given a couple people in need because of the lack of volunteers. So we do need more volunteers on the west side of the borough. So if someone's willing to travel on the west side, or if you live on the west side, essentially, this side, Washington Avenue up, that's where we're looking for someone.
So she reached out to me because there were a couple up on Critchfield, and we got plenty of kids to help. How does someone go and find these, or if someone wanted to check our website?
No, we make the matches.
Okay.
So if you want to volunteer, well, it says on the program website is that we'll do our best to match you up with someone in need that's within a 10-minute walk from your house. So most of the pairs are within people that live within your neighborhood. So for example, Critchfield, there was someone in need. In Critchfield, we couldn't get anyone, so we reached out to you for that connection. But we try to do our best to match you. But for example, the people on the west side, there's like 4 people on May Avenue, and there was folks coming from Winfield all the way over to May Avenue because there wasn't anyone.
Isn't that close to Patterson, Jeannie?
Yeah, there is a need, and
I do my own shoveling up there.
That's
I take care of more than.
No, I appreciate that. I know. Eventually we'll get a winner back. So if anyone does, that's a great program that you guys are trying to run. So if we can help, we will.
It's been really well received. So the partnerships, they're creating nice bonds.
Yeah.
It's a good program. It'd be nice to get some more neighbors willing to help neighbors.
Wait, don't you live on Patrick County?
I do.
Sorry, Jeannie. He's on that level.
Are you done yet?
I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, and I failed to call the planning commission representative, Ms. Julie Young. Are you up to speaking tonight?
Yes, thank you, Joe. So planning does not have a November meeting. Our final meeting for the year will be on Monday, December 2nd. At our last meeting, we provided some feedback regarding the Collier Township Comprehensive Plan that Joe's been passing along. And we're continuing to work on different initiatives coming out of the comprehensive plan. Joe already mentioned the tree planting, we talked about the Baldwin Street, lot planting scheduled for spring. And then we're talking through some ideas on North End revitalization, and Joe had asked us to brainstorm some streetscaping on Washington Avenue updates for a grant a possible grant that's out there.
Any questions for planning commission? As far as new business, one thing I did want to report, because I don't remember if I reported last October or at the October meeting. The conversations, this is probably almost beginning of this year, there was a Route 50 corridor group that wanted to get together. Everybody from Bridgeville, Collier, Carnegie, Heidelberg, Scott Township, and we've met on a quarterly basis. I have gone, and as well as Joe, we're welcoming anybody else that would like to go. Obviously, one, at most two more can go with us. But last meeting was a good conversation on comparing notes on quite a few things, budgets and a few other things. So that was a really good meeting. Those are going to continue on. The next one is in January, I think. And are we hosting?
Yes.
Yeah. If anybody's interested in coming along, please let me know. And then also, Joe and I were asked to meet with the Collier Township representatives at the Chamber Building right in front of the bottleneck of coming down 50 into Presley Road. And the main conversation there was to talk about how can we improve that area on Route 50. And Senator Robinson and Representative Kulik were attending as well. So it was a really good meeting. I think we have some structure. Joey and the borough manager, township manager at Collier, George Messino, they got together and put a report together with numbers and all of the different things, and Anita and Devlin really liked the report. So nothing right now to do until the beginning of the year, but we're going to have some more discussions on that, and they're going to go to PennDOT. Is that correct, Joe? Mm-hmm. That's the next step. So we will continue to push along that, but that was kind of an exciting thing to talk about the north end. Collier also doesn't like the railroad bridge eyesore, so hopefully we can get some things working on that too. So, and the mayor was beating up Anita the other one time about it, so I thought that was good. As far as new business, Jason had brought up something that we wanted to have some more conversation on. Go ahead, Jason.
Yes, beginning of last meeting, there was the idea brought up of offering the second round of flood mitigation buyouts for homeowners. I thought the idea had merit and kind of fits in the comprehensive plan. I was just opening up for further discussion as to, I think the big question is whether Bridgeville at this time would be open to any grants and such that might help us with that, or since we haven't had a flood in a while, whether we may not. So I just wanted to open that up for discussion, and whether it's something we maybe want Joe to look more into or not. Joe might have some insight on the ideas as well.
Anybody have any comments? Be a great idea. I would be curious if we would be granted.
I don't know, it'd be like I've explained in the past, is that we did secure a competitor, well, it wasn't competitive, it was funding through a presidential declared disaster to do the last buyout program. So that was about a $1.2 million grant that did the buyout of 7 homes. And that was more than buyouts. They bought out the property, demolished, and did the environmental work, relocated tenants. So there was more to the budget. But that was before we put flood plans in effect and went through all the engineering to design a project to protect these homes. So if we do a second flood buyout, and we know there's interest in a second buyout, kind of dovetailing the conversation we had last month, is some people didn't think that it was ever going to happen. and then when they actually saw it happen, they go, man, I'd like to do that. So there was people that called after we started those demolitions saying, hey, I want to participate. So we know who, at that time, who was interested. But that predates the flood plans, and the whole plan of that is to protect these properties. And what properties are we gonna be protecting if we're just tearing them down? So if we do a second buyout, in my opinion, it needs to be methodical on what project limits are you gonna offer these buyouts for, not just everything along the creek. It should be methodical to match the planning. There is multiple concepts being proposed for phase two and that show revitalization, re-imaging of Baldwin Street. And some of those concepts show communal green space on the creek side. And if that was the concept that the planning commission pushes to you guys to direct the engineer to build, by all means, we should pursue a buyout to implement that phase. Like, that is genius, like that's the way to go. But if we're just gonna offer buyouts to buy out properties, it doesn't make sense, the millions of dollars that we're investing in to protect these homes. Why are we gonna do that to protect empty lots? That don't make sense. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you that it should be targeted.
Question. With the phase two, will planning have to go back and re-look at phase two?
It could. We know the comp plan proposed already the phase that should be proposed. The comp plan already has.
Right.
Now, if the planning commission wants to sharpen the pencil on that before the council gives the marching orders to John, by all means, that's something that should be discussed.
Well said, Joe. Thank you. Any other comments?
So, I guess just so we don't leave Jason hanging, it seems like we all are under, we accept that it should be targeted. And if it is targeted, it's then how do we have that conversation about phase two? And that needs to be planned and discussed with the planning commission on how we start going about that. I know at the last planning commission meeting, it was brought up, start planning for phase two, and the chairman of the planning commission, very wise decision, said, hey, we're very close to getting shovels in the ground for phase one. I want to see what's involved with phase one before we start getting too far into phase two. So that was just 2 weeks ago. So that, just keep that in context.
Makes sense, sure.
We're almost there.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Since I live on Baldwin Street, you know.
Your name, sir?
Lynn St. Clair, self-appointed mayor of Baldwin Street. But I know it's been in some people's mind a while since we had a flood, but they keep coming. I can attest to that. So if there's any reimagining to be done, you know, or any, you know, looking at this again, are there going to be ongoing public hearings? Because one of the reimaginings that I heard at one point was we were going to turn it into a commercial area. And I'm not leaving, so I want to be kind of kept in the loop as to what's happening.
I think that was public comment on commercial.
Well, it may have been, but
I think that was.
The planning that was done before we got into the Lennon Smith and the Mackin engineering. That was I think the EPD planning firm that did that in 2018.
Yes, I remember.
Commercial, yes. Yes,
Well, I was talking about other citizens that were.
No, that was never a realistic.
Okay.
No, I'm aware of that.
Okay. Yes, Deb?
Just for information purposes, we know that the schools were closed today due to a recent threat. They've identified the juvenile responsible, and school will be in session tomorrow. The juveniles getting the help that they need.
Thank you. Do we have anything else?